Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show.
What is up, you guys? Gianna, Girardi, and Mark Robinson here. We are at Ball Arena, and we just watched the Nuggets defeat the Brooklyn Nets 107-103. An amazing game. We haven't seen a win at home since 2 Saturdays ago against the Wizards, so we were due for one.
Yeah, it feels like forever ago, and we've kind of hinted in the past at how, weirdly enough, this team is so good on the road. They win games on these long road stretches, and weirdly enough, I mean, they tend to struggle at home. So
It is an odd concept. I mean, Nuggets I believe, are leading the NBA on the road. They have the best record in the NBA, which is kind of crazy because Denver's a hard place to play. I mean, that altitude gets involved. The fans are loud here. It's a hard place to play. So we were happy with the win today. We also saw the return of Michael Porter Jr., his first time playing the Nuggets here in Ball Arena. The Nuggets and the Nets did face each other earlier in January, where the Wizards won, but luckily the Nuggets got the win today. We saw MPJ with 38 points. His career high is 39, so he has yet to break the 40, but 38 points for Michael Porter Jr., super impressive stuff.
yeah, and obviously there's a lot of emotional weight attached to the fact that he hasn't come back here for a game yet. We all sat down with him and talked with him post-game. That was pretty emotional to obviously hear him talk all about what it means to be back in Denver, how much he loves the city, how much he has kind of felt just how Okay, sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone. This is the first time we're doing a live stream from Ball Arena, so we worked out a few kinks, but we're good. We're back. We were talking about Michael Porter Jr.
Yes,
He's
we were.
back in the building for the first time, wearing another jersey, which obviously is very weird for both sides. You know, for him coming into the organization that he won a championship with, he was such a key piece to
He was drafted to.
how good this team was, winning that championship, etc., and so forth. And then, you know, for guys who played with him that won that championship with him, Jamal, P.W., everybody else, there was emotions on both sides of it, and it was cool to see. Like looking at the bigger picture now that the game's over, Nuggets won. It was cool to see him have such a good night on this return, and he was welcomed he had a pretty warm welcome too.
He did. I mean, standing ovation from the fans when they played his tribute video, which was amazing to see. And there were many conversations before tonight's game wondering how fans would react. And luckily, they all did welcome him with open arms as he did win a championship here. So MPJ's a Nugget forever. Even David Adelman said that in the pregame. He's a Nugget forever. He helped bring us a ring, and the city should love him, and he loves the city. We got to talk to MPJ before the game, and he mentioned how much he misses Denver. He said Brooklyn's obviously a great place, but nothing really beats the blue skies and the fresh air that we have here.
I thought it was so funny. Someone asked him if he slept in his bed. He still has a house here, but for whatever reason, he stayed with the team, stayed at the hotel. But I think the coolest part about it for me was how well he was welcomed back by fans. They played the tribute video, they gave him all the attention that he deserved, and he got a full-blown standing ovation. He was obviously welcomed back with open arms, and so it was cool to see him have a good night. He had his third highest night of scoring in his career. He's had 2 nights in his history of being in the league where he scored 39 points. He had 38 tonight, and
so close.
Single-handedly kept the Nets in the game for the entire time. The other starters on the team had 7 points, 10 points, 12 points, and 9 points, respectively, going down the line. Only 2 other players besides him were in double digits, and those 2 guys, Nick Claxton and Terrence Mann, had 12 and 10 points. And so to see somebody who mattered so much to this organization, got sent to the Nets in a significant trade deal where we get some draft picks, and we also get Cam Johnson in return. It was discussed how it felt like it was going to be a good fit for both teams. It felt like Michael Porter Jr. was going to learn a lot about himself, going and getting a breath of fresh air, playing somewhere new. And it felt like the Nuggets were going to be able to reap the benefits of getting some draft capital, bringing in somebody like Cam Johnson, who Michael Porter said it himself, hasn't had the opportunity yet to be on a championship contending team.
Right.
Look at what the Nuggets are doing right now. Without key starters, key players, they're still top 5 in the league, a championship contender. So I feel like it worked out for both parties. And just the whole encompassing point was it was really cool to see him come back and play in front of his former crowd.
Yeah, it was also awesome to hear from MPJ himself say that, he misses winning games, as the Nets don't necessarily do that as often as the Nuggets, but he's in a spot where he can really grow his personal game, take more shots, and he's been having the best season he's ever had. So it's been a definite adjustment for MPJ, but he mentioned that he's taking everything in a positive light, and he does have a ring, and that ring was won here in Denver. So he's ready to move on and help some of those younger guys. He's the vet on the team over there.
Yeah, it was obviously really cool to see him come in, and it seems like there's actually, taking the words right out of his mouth, there's no saltiness between the 2 parties involved in this whole deal. But as cool as it was to see Michael Porter Jr. back in the building, what was even cooler was to see, once again, the shorthanded Nuggets get a huge win at home. We had a comment come in here just a second ago. Jamal coming in clutch in the end. He has the clutch gene no matter the circumstance. And he got asked that. DA got asked that. Let's just talk about how good Jamal Murray has been, specifically this year and over the last week and a half, 2 weeks that he's come back from illness and injury, and how he's just led the charge offensively for Denver.
Yeah, Jamal's been absolutely insane, doing amazing things for the Nuggets. I mean, he's always been one of the stars on this team, but has stepped up and just become that leader since Jokic has been out. Now we're 10-6 without Jokic, so that shows just how much Jamal's really been killing it. And I mean, the bench unit was a big impact in tonight's game, but Jamal kind of really won the game in the end there for us.
He really did. He had 27 points. He was 9 for 16, 2 for 3 from behind the arc, but he had 6 assists, which was the highest assist mark for anybody out there tonight. And it seemed like the whole encompassing theme, whether it was DA talking highly of all the guys in the podium room just a second ago, or kind of everybody reflecting on how they were able to beat a Nets team that's been pretty solid this year. It was just the selflessness of everybody, and the fact that 9 of the 10 guys that stepped out on the floor tonight had at least 1 assist. Jamal Murray played a huge part of that, and he talked a lot about trust and how everybody on this team trusts each other right now, and that's why we're able to see guys like Jamal Murray continue to have such offensive surges and play so well, but you can also see guys like Tim Hardaway Jr. come in and light it up from three. It's just super awesome to see with how this team is playing and how they're gelling and how they're able to win all these games.
It is pretty incredible. I mean, we've heard the word trust and just closeness throughout the whole season, starting back even on media day. We've mentioned this many times to you guys before, but it really is just a team that has so much chemistry, and they're each looking out for each other and looking out for the team as a whole rather than one, and they all make sure to emphasize that. So hearing that from Jamal tonight was just another I don't even know.
Well, as we're also starting to creep closer to All-Star reserves getting released, we obviously know the starting five right now, and one Nikola Jokic is on that starting five roster for the West for the All-Star team this year. But with the reserves starting to get ready to come out soon here, Jamal Murray's averaging career highs in almost every respective category and almost every statistic that there is as far as what he's doing this year. And I feel like people tend to stem away from this topic with him, which, don't get me wrong, I would too, just because of how oversaturated it gets. But in the locker or in the podium room just now, he got asked, "Are you thinking about the All-Star break? Are you thinking about, getting excited and all that?" And he, of course, is just kind of in the mindset of like, "I'm just here to play basketball. I'm not too nervous. I'm not too excited. We'll see what happens, and we'll see if I'm a part of that team as a reserve during the break."
Yeah, Jamal being Jamal, got to play it cool. I'm sure he wants to be there, but we're not ever gonna know that.
Yeah, well, with that in mind, as we're starting to kind of talk about how everything went with this game, we've actually got post-game press conferences that we're going to play on the live stream for you. We're going to start with David Adelman, just go through a few of the things that he had to say about the team. We'll kind of pause it as we go. And guys, for everyone watching at home, remember, we have an interactive comment section. So anything that you're thinking, anything that you're feeling about the game, about stuff we're saying, drop it in the comments. And I'm literally in charge of everything right here on the computer. I'll throw it up on the screen. And we'll, continue to dive into all these topics. But let's start with hearing David Adelman.
Just the clutch gene. He's got to be up there. Him and Nikola. Over the years, those are the two top guys that I've been around. It's just they have it in them. And not to mention, he was getting attacked all night, blitzed. He just had to make tough shots for us. Our offense bogged down. They did a good job with all the switching and hitting. He just has it in him, not scared of it. And, it's so nice to have a guy like that where you can just call up a matchup and let him do his thing. And sometimes that's what the NBA is. And somehow he only played 33 minutes, which I'm super proud of. I high-five myself on the way out, even though I had no idea that he only played 33. He's just a special player, all-star player. Just what a special year for Jamal.
You said it a couple times. Tim Hardaway's over 25. I want to take a 26 shot.
Yes.
He had a rough stretch, a really rough stretch. Now he comes out and he's just on fire, really power you guys tonight. But you see how Tim scoring-wise early on.
Yeah, we needed it too. I thought he got us going there. I think we went up 10 when he went on that run. Just the power of confidence is amazing, man. Like, if you believe you are something and you put the work in, you should have the right to go ahead and do it. And that's what Tim is. He's professional, and guys like him in a professional, you see the work they put in. That gives a coach a lot of trust in somebody that go ahead and let that thing go. 7 for 11 from 3, 8 rebounds, 25 points, a plus 21. Just an outstanding night again for, in my opinion, someone that should be up for Sixth Man of the Year.
So, we already talked about it, obviously. But, the fact that David Adelman feels confident in saying that Jamal Murray is one of the most clutch, confident basketball players that he's ever been around as a coach. And we know DA has had other coaching roles, and he's been around a lot of players in the league outside of his head coaching role currently with the Nuggets. That says a lot about Jamal Murray and just how clutch he's been. I know that's the word that keeps getting used, but his clutch factor, his clutch gene, his ability to perform and come into these games when it matters the most, it's crazy to see from an outsider perspective looking in.
It really is, and I feel like typically we see that come out of Jamal come playoff time, and this year we're seeing it from the start of the season. So it's been very exciting. And then David Adelman bringing up Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, 7 for 11 from 3 from Tim tonight. He's had an incredible night. He's done so much for this Nuggets team. Hearing David Adelman say sixth man of the year talking about Tim, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, the first thing I want to talk about is just how good he was from behind the arc shooting three. I don't have like full confirmation on this step. I'm pretty sure he was like 1 for 24 shooting threes before this game. He'd gone on a skid. And for a guy who was such a crucial offensive addition, or off-season addition, for the Nuggets, the way that he has developed offensively with this team, fits into the system. He's a huge piece to the bench as kind of a sixth man, especially with the way the team's beaten up so much. It's really cool to see him and his confidence, the way that he shoots the ball, the way that he gets hot, and just his three-point, like his sidestep threes are, it's a work of art. Something that David Adelman says over and over and over again in his press conferences, his media availability, is he doesn't care if Tim Hardaway Jr. goes 1 for 15, 2 for 10, or 8 for 9 from behind the arc, whatever the number is. He always reiterates the point.
Shoot the ball.
Shooting the ball. Because he loves how confident he is within the system when he has the ball and he feels like he can just say, I love the look that I've got. I have an angle. I'm going to take the shot. I'm going to go for it. No matter what, he just wants him to shoot the ball. And tonight is a night where that mindset from David Adelman really comes into play. You want to see him shoot the ball. You want to see him get into his groove and get hot and get going. He did that almost right out the gate tonight, and that was why he was able to have such an offensive surge. I actually asked Tim Hardaway Jr. in the press room just a moment ago, like, on the other side of things, DA is obviously the one that's saying you could go 1 for 10 or 9 for 10. Shoot the ball, shoot the ball, shoot the ball. I asked him, does he come up to you and does he approach you? Does he say stuff to you when you get into these grooves? And he said, he comes up to me, he says, keep doing what you're doing. Stay locked in, stay exactly within the system and within the confidence that you have. And I think that's what makes a veteran like Tim Hardaway Jr. such a strong player.
Well, especially going on that little stint and coming back out tonight, 7 for 11 from 3, incredible. So obviously continuing to shoot the ball is going to work out sometimes in your favor, and tonight was proof of that. And I like that you bring up from a veteran. That was the point I was going to add when you were going on about all the positive attributes that he's added to this team. But in my opinion, the biggest thing is that veteran experience. He's on the bench coaching other players majority of the time that he's not in the game as well. And it's awesome to hear all of the players really lock in. I mean, he and Jokic seem to be coaching them just as much as David Adelman is, which is so fun. And all the players lock in, listen to them, and take all their advice.
Yeah, and on that note, we're going to hear a little bit from Tim Hardaway Jr. as well, who, after his crazy offensive night, was up at the podium answering some questions. So we're going to play that right now and then get some thoughts on what Tim Hardaway had to say after tonight's big Nuggets win.
Tim, I think it was a 1 for 24 stretch from 14 for 24. Just kind of, you always talk about how you don't really care about what the last shot is, it's not for the next shot. Just kind of, what was about tonight that felt like you made it?
Well, I mean, it helps when you get a wide open look, your first shot attempt. So just seeing the ball going in for the first shot, first make, and like I said, when I see one go in, it feels good from there.
There was a point where you and MPJ were both 7 for 11 from 3.
Yeah, I can see that.
Did it feel like a shootout between the two of you?
He knows he's run better than I do, so I'm just happy that I was able to stay with him.
Tim, every time you good nights like this, DA always says you could go 9 for 10 or 1 for 10 from 3. He tell you to keep shooting the ball the same way. On a night when you have such a strong night shooting in 3, what does he say to you to keep you going, just to keep you calm?
Same thing he's telling you guys. Just continue just to shoot the ball, stay confident. This is what you're here for. Just shoot behind the arc, shoot threes, make threes, and just continue to do that.
Yeah, it was also really complimentary of the entire bench unit, and I felt like you guys were the ones that kind of brought you guys back when Brooklyn really got into it in the third quarter. Kind of what about the bench unit tonight was clicking so well with Bruce and all the guys. Can you compliment Hunter as well for his effort?
Oh, Hunter did an amazing job. I mean, being scrappy out there on defensive end, getting us extra possessions on the offensive end. I mean, I don't think he shot the ball that much. He only took one shot, but I mean, everything else speaks for itself. I mean, plus minus, he was a +8 while he was out there on the floor, just mucking everything up out there. So it was great just to have him out there competing and making the right basketball play. And Bruce doing a heck of a job. I mean, playing against his former team, so I know he wanted to go out there and play very, very well. So it was great just to have the guys off the bench have strong, impactful minutes out there.
Tim, you mentioned the first shot you got was open. Do you feel like there's a big difference in the quality of shots, the openness of your shots with the group since Nikola got hurt? So with Nikola, open shots with this group?
I think for the most part, it's mainly, the guys doing a heck of a job of helping me get open. I mean, I can only do so much setting my guy up, but I mean, the bigs, Zeke, JV, guys setting screens for me, helping me release some of the pressure off myself, which gives me enough space to get the shot up and gives me that confidence to go out there and knock it down. So I passed up a couple here and there, but like I said, those guys do an amazing job of getting me open since big fella been out.
Jamal had a really, really good performance in the clutch. Is his ability to play so well in the game kind of give the rest of the group confidence in those last minutes?
Yeah. I mean, it gets to. I mean, he's not able to do those things if we don't do our part. So I'm just happy and fortunate that we're able to put him in those positions. To have the ball in his hands, to go out there and make winning plays for us like he's been doing all season. Like I said, I'm happy that I get a front row seat at that, and I'm on the court with that to watch it and witness it.
Tim, it's been a really taxing start for the team. Lots of games, lots of back-to-backs. You guys are obviously shorthanded. Just how taxing has it been, or how do you feel like you're holding up?
I just got out the cold tub right now, so I think I'll be good tomorrow.
Kind of bouncing off that, from now until tomorrow night, for you personally, what is your preparation look like to make sure you feel the best you can for a back-to-back?
Just get a lot of rest, get on my feet as soon as I wake up, get treatment, come in and get to work. I mean, there's no secret. I mean, we got the Clippers coming in. They're one of the hottest teams right now, and you got to wake up for that.
Whether it's the angle that you're taking off the screen or...
So that's a perfect segue into the next thing we're going to talk about, Gianna, which is a busy weekend coming up here. So Clippers in town tomorrow. Sounds like THJ and everybody else is obviously going to do as much as they can to prepare, get ready for a back-to-back and then a huge game on Sunday versus OKC. But as we look ahead to tomorrow, what do you think the keys are going to be for them to come out strong again and compete against a pretty strong Clippers team that's been playing really good basketball?
I would say for the Nuggets, I mean, Clippers are in 10th right now. We are currently in 3rd in the Western Conference. And, it seems that the defense has continued to be our struggling point. So I would say as long as they come out strong offensively and continue to shoot behind the three, we could get ahead.
Yeah, and I think defensively, that's been the biggest struggle for us, especially at home, weirdly enough. So if we can contain as much offense as possible early on, I want to see consistency. Yeah. Something that Jamal said that I thought was interesting in kind of his post-game availability. He talked about how getting settled into the game really early personally and getting the sweat on and figuring out what's working for him, what isn't working for him. That is when he thrives the most. And I think that mindset is what ends up working really well for the Nuggets in general. I think a theme for them this year has been slow starts. They kind of have to get into their groove and figure out sort of how it just takes them a while to get into their own groove. And once they do that, they can win games and they can come back and they can compete in the second half. If they get off to a quicker start tomorrow, I think that'll be big.
that and continuing to keep that start. It seems like we keep losing it there in the third. I mean, had a double-digit lead and cut it down to 3 today in the very beginning of the third. It's like, what's happening when they come out at halftime? We've continued to ask David Adelman that, what do you say to the guys? And he said, none of that rah-rah stuff. He said, everybody locks in and they're kind of just like, this is what we need to do better. Why isn't it happening? So as long as the Nuggets can keep the consistency, I would say that that is 100% the biggest factor in my eyes. That third quarter needs to be fixed from our Nuggets.
Yeah, and we know the back-to-backs have been tough, and I mean, what sport doesn't? What sport is there not a struggle posed with having to compete on back-to-back nights at the professional level? David Adelman said that everybody's going to run through the system, run through their stuff. Medical staff tonight is kind of assessing who might be ready to play tomorrow, who might not be. Obviously, keeping our fingers crossed that we can have as many guys in the lineup again tomorrow night. Because, like, you look at Jonas Valanciunas, he's only a week or two removed from his lower body injury that he was dealing with that sidelined him for so long. He played 25 minutes tonight. He was so physical. He was all over the place. I think he had double-digit boards. Is a guy like Jonas Valanciunas who expended so much physicality and energy. Is he going to be able to play on a back-to-back night? But that just goes back to this whole encompassing theme of how good our bench has been and how much we can rely on younger, newer players to this team. That, the bench players like Hunter Tyson, Spencer Jones, Bruce Brown. It's crazy to even say, but Tim Hardaway Jr., who's technically on the bench, when we can rely on guys like that to have such offensive surges and play so well, that is what makes us such a strong team. All right, we're rounding things out here. We're going to hear a little bit from Jamal Murray, give our closing thoughts on tonight as we get into the games for this weekend. So, yeah, for now, we're going to hear from Jamal Murray after tonight's game.
Yeah, he's he's always super aggressive, but like reading the blitzes and double teams, he's gotten better, and he's seen it more often. You know what I'm saying? And then just everything. Like, he's such a great shooter. He still makes the same shots that he's always made. So tough cover, but it definitely helps knowing him and knowing his game to defend him. You know what I'm saying? You could definitely tell if you don't know Mike at all and you're playing against him, he's going to light you up. So I think our advantage is just 28 shots is insane. I just saw that. 28 is insane.
Well, you got career highs. Tim kind of went shot for shot with him, especially in the first half. Just it feels like whatever you guys need from Tim on a night-to-night basis, he is that for you guys. Tonight was just shooting threes again. Just how impactful has he been, not just tonight, but in the entire team?
It's just been super consistent. Just coming off and hitting a lot of shots whenever is needed in the game. Plays with the same energy, intensity. 8 boards tonight, I think, is huge because we were struggling to rebound. I think at the third or whatever, sometime during the game we struggled. But he's just been consistent. As a consistent source of offense for us all throughout the year, especially with guys being out. It's been great to have him on the floor. So we're just gonna need more of that. Plus 21. Every time he's out there, he's making an impact.
Well, you have career highs in points, and scoring, and usage and efficiency. Your turnover rate is still so low. Your assisted turnover rate's never been better. Adelman said to us that your game is so clean right now in the way that you're thinking through things. Is that an accurate assessment? And what is kind of the relationship for you in terms of not turning the ball over and still being able to score and produce, especially with left-handed athlete right now?
I mean, it's just part of my game. I've been doing it for my whole life. I've been seeing this kind of defense since I was in high school, triangle and twos and boxes and ones, and we just figure it out. I try not to force, and then obviously once we get our full team back, my usage may go down, but the game is still the same, so that's just part of the sacrifice. I feel like I could have been doing this, and I have been doing it my whole life, but for us to be where we want to be, everybody's got to eat, everybody's got to be able to touch the ball. There's only one ball out there. And I think that's why we've been so good for so long, is just because it doesn't really matter who scores. As long as we win and that relationship is there, then it's fun for everybody. So I'm just glad that people can see it on this stage now, 10 years in. They believe it.
Just kind of building on that, averaging career highs in points, assists, field goal percentage, three-point percentage, everything you just listed. By the numbers, this is your best season ever. Why do you think that is?
Just coaches trust me, ball in my hands more. Teammates trust me, and that can go a long way. A lot of times it's not X's and O's. I think me playing more in the first quarter helps me a lot, like tremendously. So that's another one. But yeah, I'm just reading the game. My teammates trust me, and they know that I'm going to double it. I'm going to make the right play. I'm not really forcing it unless it's kind of really, really needed. But I'm trying to hit them on time, on target, and hit them consistently throughout the game, and make sure that everybody knows that they're going to get the ball. So just playing my game. That's what I say every time. But
Why does playing the first quarter help?
All right, great to hear from Jamal Murray after the game. And very interesting, tonight fans were actually chanting MVP at Jamal Murray, which awesome to hear. I mean, he's been a star of this team for so many years now, but Jokic has been the star that's shined a little brighter. So hearing MVP chanted to Jamal Murray tonight was definitely a very special moment, and I'm sure that to him it feels like all the work that he puts in, night out, is really paying off, and this year kind of just testifies to that. So my player of the game is going to be Jamal Murray. He had 27 points, 6 assists. Those 6 assists really did a lot for the Nuggets tonight.
Okay, before I get into my player of the game, I do want to say, first of all, I'm pretty sure Jamal Murray was on the ballot list of voting for mid-season. 10th on the list in MVP votes. So I think I even put something out on my X. I was like, screw All-Star. This guy's in the running for MVP, which is crazy to think. And then something else that he got asked at the podium after the game was, with the Jokic injury, do you feel like there's a silver lining in that guys have been able to find themselves as players and improve as players, and that it's provided a unique opportunity for this team to get better and to learn how to play without Jokic? Obviously, he said, man, I want him out on the court whenever we can have him. But he did go into detail and acknowledge seeing Peyton Watson's confidence grow, seeing guys like Hunter Tyson and Zeke Naji and Jalen Pickett find their game, find their rhythm without having to rely on Jokic to drop 30-plus point triple doubles every night. I think it's going to work out in this team's favor. All right, getting into my player of the game. We've already talked about him a ton, and he might be the 6th man of the year. It's the veteran himself, Tim Hardaway Jr. 7 for 11 from 3 is just insane. That sidestep 3-pointer that he shoots, his ability to move within the system and generate so much offense. People have been saying it. Nobody realizes how big of an off-season addition Tim Hardaway Jr. has been for the Nuggets. His veteran cadence that he offers for the locker room, how much insight he offers to just everybody that's younger within the locker room. It's been really cool to see. And on a night like tonight, where before tonight he was a little cold, hadn't had as good of a game offensively in a while, he comes in and he lights the lamp for 25 points, 25 points, 28 minutes. But really cool to see. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been unreal, and I think that type of potential is something that we're going to see come out at the perfect moments come later on in the season and in the postseason.
And bringing us the win here in Ball Arena after a long, almost 2 weeks against the Wizards. So much needed, and we're looking forward to hopefully getting another one tomorrow. We will be facing the Clippers tomorrow, who are in 10th place. We're in 3rd. So looking for that win. And then Sunday. Sunday is a big game. We have OKC, SGA. What are they going to do to shut him down? If they can neutralize him, I think we'll get the win. If maybe we see some more bodies on the court, I think we'll get the win. So big game on Sunday after the back-to-back at the start of this weekend. But we will also be live on Sunday doing another post-game report just like this one. Hopefully figured out all the technology issues then. But yeah, bringing you guys some videos from the locker room and the press conferences and sharing our thoughts.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm just excited to see this Nuggets team, who has faced so much adversity, go up against what people are saying is the best team in the league up to right now. It's a take for sure. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but just with the way OKC plays and how they're coming off from a championship run. As long as guys can be rested and healthy and ready to play come Sunday with the back-to-back in mind, I think it's going to be a really good game. It's crazy that we haven't played them yet. And we faced all this adversity. We've had so much happen. Like I was looking at the schedule earlier. We play them for the first time of the season on Sunday. And then I think our second to last game of the season is against OKC, with obviously some matchups in between. It's going to be perfect to get to play them now. Hopefully get some guys back injury-wise later on, because, of course, Aaron Gordon's now out 4 to 6 weeks. But with that game coming up, I think it's going to be very exciting. That's going to do it for us today on our little post-game live. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of you guys supporting us here at Gorilla Sports. Gianna, Girardi, Mark Robinson, we're giving you all the Nuggets information that you need. So make sure that you tune into everything we're doing at Gorilla Sports this coming weekend, specifically that live post-game show on Sunday. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.